Hey, welcome to Audio listeners. We're all about breaking down the best ideas from great books.
Want to learn from all those amazing books out there, but you just can't find the time?
That's exactly what we do. We pull the key ideas from the best books on growth and motivation.
So you can boost your personal growth, gain powerful knowledge, and find that daily motivation for free.
Here's the cool part. Every book is a complete playlist, so you can learn from start to finish.
So go check out the playlist section. You're going to find something that helps for sure.
And hey, if you like what we're doing, do us a favor and hit that like button.
You're not going to want to miss what's next, so make sure you subscribe for the latest books.
And one last thing, what book should we cover next? Let us know right down in the comments.
Have you ever found yourself with like a dozen browser tabs open, researching, but never actually pulling the trigger? Well, in this explainer, we're going to show you how to finally break free from that analysis paralysis. We're talking about turning those amazing plans into actual, real-world results.
All right, let's just jump right in with a question that really gets to the heart of it all. Are you a thinker or are you a doer? You know, we all have that friend with the most brilliant ideas, right? They've researched everything, but they're still just researching. They're a thinker. And then you've got the other friend who just dives headfirst in everything, a total doer. The sweet spot, of course, is being both, but let's be honest, most of us lean pretty hard one way or the other. And this quote it absolutely nails it. This is the core problem so many of us run into. We're either stuck in our heads with these fantastic plans that just go nowhere, or we're out there taking action without a real strategy. So this explainer, it's all about building a bridge right across that gap. So how do we actually build that bridge? Well, the blueprint we're looking at doesn't start with just charging ahead blindly. Nope, it starts with something much simpler, but way more powerful. Just hitting the reset button on your entire approach. You know, imagine you're on a stationary bike. You're pedaling like crazy, you're sweating, you're working so hard, but you're not going anywhere. The instinct is just to pedal harder, right? But what if the chain is off? The only way to actually move forward is to stop, get off the bike, and fix the actual problem. That's exactly what this step is all about. We've all heard this one a million times, but really, let it sink in for a second. We've all been there, haven't we? Refreshing the same stock chart, trying the same savings trick that never works, hoping this time will be different. The truth is, if you want a different outcome, you absolutely have to take a different action. Stopping isn't quitting, it's being strategic.
Okay, so once you hit pause, it's time to go on the hunt for a better way. I mean, why try to reinvent the wheel when someone else has already figured it out? The author calls these formulas. Basically, proven systems that can save you years of painful trial and error. They put you on the fast track.
So check this out. The author just walks into a bookstore, sees a book with a really compelling title, and this one simple act, this little bit of curiosity, it sets off a chain reaction that completely changes their entire financial future. It's kind of wild when you think about it. And this right here, this is the whole ballgame. Action. No waiting around, no second guessing. A neighbor who had tons of opinions but absolutely zero experience at this stuff told them it would never work, but that advice was ignored. So who are you going to listen to? The person who's actually done the thing, or the person just talking from the sidelines? The choice is yours, but so are the results.
All right, so you've stopped the old habits that weren't working, you've found a new formula, and you've taken that first scary step. Now it's time to pour some gasoline on the fire and really accelerate your progress.
Seriously, think about this. For the price of a lunch, you can basically download years of someone else's experience, their mistakes, their wins, their shortcuts. That's an insane return on your investment. And it's not just about the practical tips. It's about getting that confidence that comes from knowing, okay, someone else has walked this path. I can do it too.
1 hour, that's it. That's all it took to get a masterclass on a pretty complicated investment strategy straight from an expert. Now compare that to the weeks or maybe even months it would have taken to figure all that out alone. This is the definition of working smarter, not harder.
Have you ever felt totally swamped by a new project, not even sure where to begin? A good mentor just cuts right through all that noise. They can help you focus on what really matters and turn what could have been weeks of frustration into a single, super productive day of action. And here it is, the payoff. This wasn't just a one-time thing. That 1 hour investment, that single lunch, has been paying off ever since, generating a 16% return year after year. That is the incredible compounding power of learning from people who know what they're doing and then immediately acting on that advice. So a mentor can give you the roadmap, but you still have to drive the car. And that car, well, it runs on knowledge. That's why the next step in this blueprint is to just become a learning machine, to constantly be fueling your mind.
Look, you are your most valuable asset, period. Investing in your own education, whether it's a free online course or a big-ticket seminar, is the single best investment you can ever make. It pays dividends in every single part of your life, forever.
Wow, this slide really hits home, doesn't it? It is such a stark reminder that the choices we make today completely shape our tomorrow. The author's friends saw education as just an expense. The author saw it as an investment. And, well, the results couldn't be any clearer. All right, let's talk about the final piece of the puzzle. This is where you just have to go for it. It's time to stop analyzing and start doing. Make offers, and then make some more offers. Don't get bogged down in the details. Let your agent handle the heavy lifting. Your job is to stay in motion and keep the opportunities flowing. Action creates its own luck. So, we've walked through the whole process. We've seen the power of hitting reset, finding a new formula, and learning from the pros. We've seen a real-life story of how it works. Now, let's just pull it all together into one simple, actionable blueprint you can start using, like today. This is it. This is the whole playbook. The 5 steps that will take you from where you are right now to where you want to be. It's simple, it's proven, and it works. Stop, search, learn from an expert, educate yourself, and then, most importantly, act. And do it consistently. So, the blueprint is right here in your hands. The opportunity is right in front of you. The only question left is the one on the screen. What is your first move? Your future is waiting for you to do something. Don't make it wait any longer. So what if I told you there's a simple, powerful playbook out there that could completely change how you think about building wealth? Well, today, we're cracking open the Savvy Investor's Playbook. It's a set of real, actionable strategies designed to turn your financial goals into your financial reality. Look, for just a minute, I want you to forget everything you think you know about investing. Because the single most important rule in this entire playbook, it's not about some complex chart or a secret stock tip. It's about one powerful truth that separates the winners from the watchers. Action always beats inaction. But here's the million-dollar question, right? How do you actually translate that action into real wealth? It's not enough to just go out and do something. You got to know what actions to take and, maybe even more important, how to take them. That's the puzzle we're going to solve together, piece by piece. Okay, so where do most people get tripped up? It's this place called analysis paralysis. You know, that endless loop of research and doubt and what-ifs. It's usually driven by this deep fear of losing money or the need for everything to be perfect, and it almost always leads to doing nothing at all. It's like the silent dream killer that keeps so many potential investors just stuck on the sidelines.
I mean, think about this scenario. It's so common. A friend of mine gets really excited about real estate. They go look at 6 different properties, and a couple of them are actually pretty good. The advice they get is simple. Hey, just make offers on all of them at half the asking price. But they just freeze. They're worried about being rude or that the agent won't want to do the paperwork. And the results? 0 offers made. And guess what? They're still out there looking for that mythical perfect deal.
And that story gets right to the heart of the action principle. You see, the price you see on the tag is almost never the price you have to pay. Making an offer isn't some aggressive tactic. It's a discovery tool. It is literally the only way to peel back the curtain and find out what a seller is really willing to accept. It's not the end of the road. It's the on-ramp to the deal. Okay, so if making offers is the key, how in the world do we get over that fear that holds so many people back? This is where we flip the script. We're about to reframe investing. We're taking it from this super serious, high-stakes, nerve-wracking thing into something you can actually have fun with, a game you can win. And the beauty of this strategy is just how simple it is. Seriously, just 2 steps to making fearless offers. First, you've got to change your mindset. This is a game of buying and selling, and it's supposed to be fun. Second, and this is your secret weapon, always, and I mean always, build yourself an escape hatch. Every single offer you make needs to have an escape clause. And this escape clause doesn't need to be complicated. You don't need a team of lawyers to write it up. It can be as simple as adding this one little phrase to your offer. This offer is subject to the approval of my business partner. That's it. That one sentence gives you a totally foolproof way out if the deal just doesn't feel right, for any reason at all. So who is this mysterious, powerful business partner? Well, as the slide says, it could be your cat. The point is, your partner is just a tool to take all the pressure off.
It's this clever little trick that puts you in complete control so you can make more offers with confidence, and that is how you find those amazing hidden deals. All right, now that we've got the mindset down, it's time to go on the hunt. Where do we find those incredible deals that pretty much everyone else misses? This is the tactical part of our playbook, the art of hunting for bargains. There's this weird paradox. When your local supermarket has a big sale, we all rush in to buy stuff, right? But when the stock market or the real estate market has a sale, a crash or a correction, most people run for the hills. The savvy investor, though, they understand that all that fear is actually a signal. They run toward the sale because that's where the life-changing opportunities are hiding. And this brings us to one of the golden rules of investing. Your profit isn't made when you sell your asset. It's locked in the moment you buy it. To really show you what I mean, let's look at the story of two identical condos. First, you've got the typical buyer. They went through a normal real estate broker, paid the full market price, $100,000. Now, all they can do is sit back and hope the market goes up. But then, right next door, a savvy investor bought the exact same condo for just $50,000. How? By looking where other people weren't, a foreclosure auction. They spent $500 on a class to learn the process, an expense the neighbor thought was a waste of money. But that tiny investment in education saved them $50 grand on one deal. And foreclosure auctions are really just the beginning. There are so many brilliant, unconventional tactics. Imagine spotting deals just by walking through a neighborhood every month and noticing what's changing, or just talking to people who see everything, like mail carriers and movers. Keep an eye out for those for sale signs that are starting to look a little dusty. That's a motivated seller. And hey, don't be afraid of the areas the news tells you are bad. That's often where the next big boom is about to happen. All right, it's time to level up. This next strategy is what really separates the casual players from the pros who land those truly massive deals. It all comes down to one powerful shift in your thinking: learning to think bigger. So here's a pretty radical idea for you. Stop looking for what you can afford. See, most people limit themselves to buying just one tiny slice of the pie, but the savvy investor, they think totally differently. They ask, how can I buy the whole pie, and then figure out how to sell off the pieces to other people. Let's break down how this actually works. First, you find a buyer who wants a small piece of property. Then you go find a much larger chunk of land that has the piece they want inside it. You use something called an option. It's just a legal agreement that gives you the right to buy the property at a set price for a little while, so you can control it without buying it yet. Next, you sell that small piece to your buyer and use their money to buy the whole thing. And the result? You're left with the rest of that big property, often for free. It's absolutely brilliant. When it comes right down to it, it's this. Small thinkers just don't get the big breaks. If you really want to get richer, you have to think big. The size of your vision is literally going to determine the size of your success. It's time to start thinking bigger than you thought was possible. Okay, so we've covered the power of action, the mindset of playing a game, the tactics of a bargain hunter, and the strategy of thinking big. Now for the most important part of all, putting it into motion. Let's talk about your very first move. In the end, it all comes full circle, right? Right back to where we started, action. You can have all the knowledge and strategies in the world, but they are completely worthless if you don't use them. The line between people who dream and people who achieve is drawn by two simple words: have done. It is all about execution. So let's make this real right now. Forget about finding the perfect deal or waiting for the right time. Based on everything we've just talked about, what is one small, low-stakes offer that you can make today?